So now we can discuss the more examples for this sp3 hybridization. Okay, sp3 hybridization. We already discussed about the methane, right? CH4 methane. Now we can discuss the next example, that is ammonia, NH3. Okay, NH3. So which is the central atom in ammonia? N, nitrogen, right? So what will be the configuration? What will be the ground state electronic configuration? 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, so you can write there sp sp3 hybridization. Example is NH3. Okay, NH3. So the central atom is nitrogen. So here we can write the electronic configuration, ground state electronic configuration of nitrogen. What is that, Aditya?
1s2,
1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay. So we can write this one like this, 1s2, then 2s2, 2p. There are 3p orbitals, right? 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Or otherwise, we can also draw the orbital diagram. 2s, there are 2 electrons. Then for 2p, 1, 2, 3. In this case, we will not go for excited state. In the conditions or the features of hybridization, we have learned that there is no such condition for the excitement of electron. Okay, do you remember that point? Yeah, in the important condition, the third point, promotion of electron is not essential condition prior to hybridization. So it is not essential for the electrons to jump to excited state. In some compounds, this excitement will be takes place. Okay, so this will be the configuration. So this s orbital and p orbital, it will combine together to 3 hybrid orbital. Okay, sp3 hybrid orbital. So here you can see 2s contains 2 electrons and 2p contains each. Okay. Clear? So in the case of formation of NH3 molecule, among the 3 sp3 hybrid orbital, 3 sp3 hybrid orbital, total 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are there. Among this 4, 3 sp3 hybrid orbital overlaps with hydrogen. Okay, overlaps with hydrogen. Hydrogen atom axially and form sigma bond. Okay, and form sigma bond. 3 sp3 hybrid orbital with hydrogen atom axially and form sigma bond. Here it is overlaps with hydrogen atom axially and form sigma bond. And the 4th sp3 hybrid orbital that will remain as lone pair. We have learned about lone pair in the previous theories, right? Here also you can see the lone pair. That's the 4th one. The 4th sp3 hybrid orbital remain as lone pair. Okay, you can see here in 2s there are 2 electrons. These electrons remain as lone pair of electrons. So due to the presence of this lone pair. We know that lone pair repulsion there, right? And this lone pair repulsion, it is greater than lone pair bond pair repulsion and bond pair repulsion. That's the order, right? Lone pair, it is greater than lone pair, then bond pair. So here, due to lone pair, bond pair repulsion, their bond angle is changed from 109.5 degree to 107 degree. We already learned this bond angle and the things in valence bond theory. Do you remember that one, children? In 3 tables. So no? Molecules with central atom having no lone pair, then molecules of central atom having lone pair, like that. In that table, we have discussed the same example. Okay, so due to, can write the remaining points, just wait. Due to lone pair, bond pair repulsion, bond angle is reduced to 104 degree wait. 107 degree from 109.5 degree. If it is if there is no lone pair of electrons there, its bond angle is 109.5 degree. But due to the presence of this lone pair, the bond angle is reduced to 107 degree from 109.5 degree. And the geometry is also changed from tetrahedral to pyramidal. Okay. The actual geometry for sp3 hybridization, that is tetrahedral shape, and the bond angle is 109.5 degree. But due to the presence of lone pair of electrons in nitrogen atom, the bond angle is reduced to 107 degree from 109.5 degree, and the geometry is changed from tetrahedral to pyramidal. In the case of methane, that's an example for sp3 hybridization, and we have learned that it has a tetrahedral structure with bond angle 109.5 degree, right? That's the proper geometry and bond angle of sp3 hybridization. But in the case of this NH3 molecule, that's also comes under sp3 hybridization, but its bond angle is reduced to 107 degree from 109.5 degree, and the geometry is changed from tetrahedral to pyramidal. This is clear, children? This is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubt, anyone? Clear, right? Then we will discuss one more example that also belongs to sp3 hybridization. Okay, that is H2O molecule. So the next example is H2O molecule. H2O molecule. So which is the central atom in H2O molecule?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, right? So its configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 2p, 2p4, right? 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So here also we can rewrite this equation 1s2, 2s2, 2p x2, 2p y1, 2p z1, or the orbital diagram like this. 2s, there are 2 electrons. Then in the case of 2p 1, 2, 3, here there are 2 electrons, then 1, 1. This is 2p. Okay. So here also this 1s and 3p orbitals combine together to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. And among these 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, 2 sp3 hybrid orbitals overlaps axially with hydrogen atom. Okay, overlaps axially with hydrogen atom to form sigma bond. Okay, so these 2 orbitals, they were overlaps axially with hydrogen atom orbital to form sigma bond. Then you know that remaining 2 pair of electrons there, they will remain as lone pair of electrons. Okay, so here 2 lone pair of electrons on oxygen atom. The previous case, in NH3 molecule, only 1 lone pair of electron, but here 2 lone pair of electrons on oxygen atom. So here also, according to this sp3 hybridization, the proper geometry is tetrahedral and the bond angle is 109.5 degree. But here also there will be change in its bond angle and the geometry due to the presence of this lone pair of electrons. Okay. So here the bond angle is reduced to 104.5 degree from 109.5 degree. Then the geometry is also changed from the tetrahedral. It is converted to V shape or angular. V shape or angular. But these 2 compounds, that also belongs to the category sp3 hybridization. But due to the presence of lone pair of electron, there will be variation in the geometry and bond angle of these molecules. Okay. So 3 molecules, this methane, that is CH4, ammonia, NH3, then H2O, water. These 3 molecules have sp3 hybridization, but their geometry and bond angle will be different due to the presence of this lone pair of electrons in nitrogen and oxygen in the case of NH3 and H2O molecule. Clear? This is clear, children? Any doubt? Anyone? Clear, right? Then next we are going to learn how this double bond and triple bond that is connected with this hybridization or sigma bond and pi bond. Okay. So shall I move to next slide, children? Have we completed this one?
Ma'am, completed.
Okay, okay. So next we are going to learn the formation of C2H6 molecule. What's the name of this one? C2H6 molecule. C2H6. What's its name? IUPAC name? One?
Ethane.
Yeah, it's ethane, right? Okay. So ethane. So here, which one is the central atom? Carbon itself, right? 2 carbon atoms, that's the central atom. So first we can write the configuration of carbon. 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, right? 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is the ground state electronic configuration. Here we will go for the excited state configuration. So the excited state configuration, it will become 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. Okay, 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. So this s orbital and 3 p orbitals combine together to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. We know that there are 6 hydrogen atoms. In each carbon, there are 3 hydrogen atoms. It's structure like this: CC, then here CH3, here CH3. Okay. Can also draw it like this. Okay. So here there are 4 sp3 hybrid orbital for each carbon atom. And this one sp3 hybrid orbital of carbon axially overlaps with another carbon atom. Okay, another carbon atom. And the remaining 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals overlaps axially with 3 hydrogen atoms. Okay, the same thing happen in both carbon atoms. One sp3 hybrid orbital of carbon axially overlaps with the another carbon atom, and the 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals overlaps axially with 3 hydrogen atoms. Clear? So that's the formation of C2H6 molecule. I will draw the structure of their overlapping. Just wait. Okay, here you can see that there are 2 carbon atoms and they are overlaps axially with each other. Okay. And each hydrogen atom, they have s orbital, right? S orbital. So they are in spherical shape. So each sp3 hybrid orbital of carbon, it will axially overlap with the orbital of hydrogen. Similarly, in the second carbon also, same thing happens. Each overlapping, it will form sigma bond. Sigma bond means single bond, right? Sigma bond is single bond. Okay. So this is the structure of this ethane molecule, and their hybridization is sp3, and their formula, that is C2H6. Clear? So only sigma bond is possible in the case of ethane molecule, C2H6, due to the axial overlapping of 2 carbon atoms and with the hydrogen atoms. And here the CC bond length is 154 picometer. CC bond length 154 picometer, and the CH bond length that is 109 picometer. There will be difference in the bond length between carbon-carbon and carbon-hydrogen. CC bond length is 154 picometer and CH bond length is 109 picometer. That's about the formation of ethane molecule, and their hybridization is sp3 hybridization. So you have to remember, in the case of single bonded molecules, always the hybridization is sp3. That's in the case of organic compounds. Okay. If there is single bond, their hybridization is sp3. If it is double bond, their hybridization is sp2. And if it is triple bond, their hybridization is sp. So we will learn the other two, sp2 and sp. We'll discuss now. Have we completed this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It's clear, right? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Do you want to repeat it again? Clear, right? Okay. The next example is about ethene molecule, C2H4. So write down the next example, that is ethene molecule. C2H4. Ethene molecule, that is C2H4. So here also, carbon is the central atom. There are two carbon atoms. Their configuration, 1s2, 2s2, then 2p2, right? That's the ground state configuration. In the excited state, one electron will jump from s orbital to p orbital. Then it will becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. So this s, sorry, wait. 1 minute. Okay. So here we can also draw the orbital diagram. 2s, 1 electron, then 2p, 3 electrons, right? And here only this 1s and 2p orbitals combine together to form sp2 hybrid orbital. Okay, sp2 hybrid orbital. So there are 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. Clear? Then here, one sp2 hybrid orbital overlaps axially with another carbon atom. Okay, that means CZ bond will be formed. Then the remaining two sp2 hybrid orbital overlaps axially with two hydrogen atoms. Okay, two hydrogen atoms. One sp2 hybrid orbital overlaps axially with another carbon atom to form CZ sigma bond, and the two remaining two sp2 hybrid orbital overlap axially with two hydrogen atoms. Okay. Then now we can draw the structure. Here there are two carbon atoms. There will be axial overlapping between two carbon atoms. And with hydrogen, there is axial overlapping. Okay, this is the axial overlapping. But here, this structure is not completed. Or you just check the valency of carbon, it's not completed, right? Because in the case of carbon, its valency is 4. Only 3 bonds are bonded here with carbon atom, right? With 2 hydrogen and only 1 carbon, only 3 bonds are satisfied, right? So one more bond is required for completing the valency of this both carbon atoms. Okay, so next we will go for pi bond. So here in this sp3 hybrid orbital formation, you can see that one unhybridized p orbital, right? Look here, this one is the unhybridized p orbital. It is not involved in hybridization. That is unhybridized p orbital. So if there are two carbon atoms, there will be two unhybridized p orbital. These two unhybridized p orbital, they will overlap sidewise with each other. And we have learned that if there is sidewise overlapping, pi bond is only possible, right? If there is sidewise overlapping, pi bonding is possible. So due to the presence of this unhybridized p orbital in carbon atom, there will be a sidewise overlapping between two carbon atoms. Okay, so you can write this point here. Unhybridized p orbital of carbon atom overlaps sidewise with another carbon atom to form pi bond. Okay, to form pi bond. Clear? Unhybridized p orbital of carbon atom overlaps sidewise with another carbon atom to form pi bond. Okay, then we can draw the structure of this sidewise overlapping also. So already single bond is formed between two carbon atom and hydrogen atoms, right? This will be the structure after the formation of sigma bond. Okay, then there will be an unhybridized p orbital in each carbon. It can be represented like this. Okay, and the sidewise overlapping can also be noted. So here the pi bond will be formed. So now the structure will like this: carbon-carbon double bond, then hydrogen atoms. Due to the presence of unhybridized p orbital, they will overlap sidewise and the formation of pi bond takes place. Due to the presence of this pi bond, carbon-carbon double bond takes place. That's why it will exist as ethene molecule. So in all double bonds, the hybridization is sp2 hybridization. Okay, sp2 hybridization. So here, the CH bond length (108 picometer) and their bond angle 117.6 degree. Then the HCC bond angle, that is 121 degree. Then CC bond length is 134 picometer. Okay. CH bond length is 108 picometer. Then CC bond length is 134 picometer. Then bond angle of CH, that is 117.6 degree. And the bond angle between HCC, that is 121 degree. That's about the formation of sigma bond and pi bond in ethene molecule. Clear, children? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Malavika, this is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Gaia, Sarah, is this clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the last one, that is ethyne molecule. That's for the triple bond. Okay. Ethyne molecule. That is C2H2. Okay. C2H2. So here also the central atom is carbon. So its configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 in ground state. Then for excited state, this 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. So we can draw the orbital diagram. 2s, then in 2p, this is 2p. Here 1s and 1p, they combine together to form two sp hybrid orbitals. Two sp hybrid orbitals. So the one sp hybrid orbital overlaps axially with another carbon atom. Then one sp hybrid orbital overlaps axially with hydrogen atom. Okay. In both cases, sigma bond is formed. Okay. Sigma bond. Here also sigma bond because axial overlapping takes place, right? Due to axial overlapping, the sigma bond is formed. Then we can draw the formation of this sigma bond. Two carbon atoms, they will overlap axially and only two hydrogen atoms. Three sigma bonds are formed. Okay. So we can draw its structure CCHH. This is only the formation of sigma bond. Then here you can see two unhybridized p orbitals, right? Two unhybridized p orbital. So the two unhybridized p orbital of each carbon overlaps sidewise with each other. Okay, overlaps sidewise with each other to form pi bond. Okay, the two unhybridized p orbital of each carbon atom overlap sidewise with each other to form pi bond. So next we can draw the structure of this formation of pi bond. So in each carbon atom, there are two unhybridized p orbitals. So we can draw the two unhybridized p orbital. Okay, and there will be sidewise overlapping between these two unhybridized p orbitals, and the formation of pi bond takes place. Okay, so there are two unhybridized p orbital, so there will be triple bond formed between two carbon atoms. So this is the final structure of C2H2 molecule or ethyne molecule. Okay. Ethyne molecule. Clear? So these are the three types of hybridization in organic compound: ethyne, ethene, and ethyne molecule. In single bond, it is always sp3 hybridization. Then in double bond, it is sp2 hybridization. And in triple bond, it is sp hybridization. Clear? Always this pi bond is formed. That is due to the unhybridized p orbital in the central atom. They will overlap sidewise with each other to form pi bond. Okay. So axial or head-on overlapping, it will leads to the formation of sigma bond, and sidewise overlapping, it leads to the formation of pi bond. Okay. Sigma bond, that is axial overlapping, and the pi bond, it is due to sidewise overlapping. Clear, children? So these are the different types of hybridization by the intermixing of s and p orbital. Okay. And there are different types of orbitals due to the intermixing of s, p, and d. That's the next section. And here I told you in the beginning about the energy. Okay. We will take only the only the orbitals, atomic orbitals with nearly equivalent energies. Okay. So there are two possibilities in the case of 3D. We'll just look here. When we are writing the energy order, it is 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p. Like that, right? So in the case of this 3D, it can able to form orbitals with this 3s and 3p, and also can intermix with 4s and 4p. Clear? This 3D, it can combine with 3s and 3p. Again, this 3D can combine with 4s and 4p. So based on this, there are different types of hybridization. Clear, children? And there is one table given in your textbook in the page number 124. 124. ESP2, then SP3D, SP3D2, SP3D2, again D2SP3. These are the different types of hybridization that take place between this SP and D. These all possible with the combination of 3D with 3s and 3p, then combination of 3D with 4s and 4p. So these are the different configurations: DSP3, then SP3D, then SP3D2, then again SP3D2, P2SP3. And for each hybridization type, there are specific shapes for each molecules. Okay, these shapes and their hybridization you should learn. And one more thing, after this shape of molecule and hybridization, we will learn two more examples in this category itself for sp3d and sp3d2. We will learn two examples, sp3d and sp3d2, that we can discuss in the next class. Okay. So you should just go through this table given in the page number 124 before the next class. The important hybridization schemes involving sp and d orbitals. Clear? So it's clear, children? Yes, okay. So just wait, let me take your attendance. Okay, then thank you all. See you in the next class. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.